Assassin's Creed Mirage. It has been quite a while since we visited an Assassin's Creed game here on the channel, but for the occasion of the release of Mirage, I thought it would be lovely to go for a relaxing wander in this beautiful setting. Now, I must caution you that there are minor spoilers to be had here. The area where we find ourselves is fairly early on in the game, but inevitably there will be some minor spoilers when it comes to locales and maybe some very general story stuff, but I'm going to try and keep things as spoiler light as possible. We're going to be focusing on the gorgeous environment here today, enjoying the incredible detail that's packed into this recreation of the past. Now, Assassin's Creed Mirage mostly takes place in and around Baghdad in modern-day Iraq. It takes place in the 9th century, but this particular part of the game takes place in what is today northwestern Iran, the Alamut region, and we find ourselves not far from Alamut Fortress, the stronghold of the Hidden Ones at the time of this game. Precursors, of course, to the Assassins. I was struck by just how lovely this area is with the snow-capped peaks in the background and these beautiful autumnal trees, oak trees here in this valley. And so I thought it would be perfect for us to take a relaxing wander. There is Alamut Fortress itself, perched high upon a cliff top. This location is perfect as the stronghold for the Hidden Ones. Not only does the rugged terrain provide natural defenses, but it also provides a perfect training ground for the assassins. A place for them to hone their skills. And of course, Alamut is quite remote, allowing the assassins to go about their training and business away from prying eyes. Our character here, Basim, is in the process of training, learning about the ways of the assassins, the Hidden Ones. looks like a heron perched atop that cliff. And we've already seen a few other creatures here. Look, there's another one. There he is, down in the creek. Oh, there's quite a few actually. Look at all these frogs hopping around. We saw some other birds, which I think we scared off, frightened off earlier, and look over here. There's a rabbit or a hare. Just barely saw it, and it's hopped away into the bushes. Of course, we can hear many more creatures as well, chirping away in the trees. Let's head this way, towards the fortress. There's another rabbit. Doesn't seem to take too kindly to our presence. I can't really blame it, I suppose. The beautiful, sprawling oak trees here are so lovely and autumnal. It's one of the reasons why I really wanted to do a wander in this area. It's appropriate given the time of year that I'm recording this video. And look, amongst the oak trees, all sorts of butterflies. Look at them all. Dozens and dozens of them fluttering about. You might also notice in the distance a variety of assassins in training, making their way through obstacle courses, climbing and leaping. The understory foliage here is very pretty too. All sorts of shrubs and bushes. I love the twisting, gnarled branches of oak trees. And you can actually see there are some acorns. Acorns in this oak tree as well. A few of them anyway. Despite the rich foliage here, I do get the impression that this area is quite dry. Quite dry. It has an arid feel about it. Although we do have this beautiful, clear little brook, which we'll be following up towards the fortress. Here's another lovely spreading oak tree. Just catching the warm light of the setting sun. Well, maybe it's not quite setting yet, but it's getting lowish in the sky. I guess it's on its way down. Late afternoon, perhaps. Seriously, so many butterflies. Look at them all. Let's carry on up the path, past rest of the training assassins. All quite busy, leaping back and forth. While others stand watch. You can see little wisps of sand and dust falling from the dry cliffs. Oh. I only actually just noticed this lady here, very stealthy of her. She's earning her assassinhood by just standing in the shadows. I was too distracted by the sand and dust. Although her humming is not very stealthy at all, is it? These fellows here, carefully guarding the hay pile. Good work, gentlemen. Very important work. Wouldn't be an Assassin's Creed game without conspicuous piles of hay. A lovely little stream making its way through the gully. Look at the papery bark on this tree up here. It looks like a birch tree, perhaps. With all that flaky, papery bark. I think it's actually dead, now that I look closer. It doesn't seem to have any leaves. I love the lighting through here. It's so dramatic. Sounds like a mourning dove calling in the distance. More butterflies here in the canyon. And some kind of creature in the distance. I have no idea what that is making that sound. I think we're scaring a little rabbit along here in front of us as well. And here we've arrived at the settlement where all manner of assassins and prospective assassins make their home, along with their families and numerous others who are here supporting the cause of the Hidden Ones. This fellow appears to be examining something up above quite intently.
Oh.
I'm not sure what he's looking at exactly. Look at the sun shining right down through the canyon there, though. Anyway, well, maybe he sees something up in the sky that we don't. Perhaps he's got working on his eagle eye. This fellow here is fishing. All these little waterfalls and cascades are quite pretty.
وتلك المرأة لو كانت تضع عطرا أكثر لاختنقت.
This appears to be a workshop of some sort. I see some food on the tables, all sorts of scrolls, a suit of armor, a carved elephant behind, all sorts of things.
لو لم يكن ملكهم تفكيرا أحمق لحكمت بيزنطة الشام بحلول هذا الوقت. I heard that they killed blind, but their cause is important. I trained to be a hidden man, learning that every cave should be just.
I was saying earlier that I thought this area looked quite dry, and it's true it does, but this particular valley seems to be blessed with an abundance of water flowing out of the cliffside, perhaps from some sort of spring or lake further up in the mountains. And here at the head of the valley, a beautiful thundering cascade. Which we'll go visit in a moment. These individuals are undertaking the humble work of washing clothes. It's not glamorous, but it's important. Another massive waterfall here. These two almost look like they're supervising the clothes washers. While the clothes washers work hard. And here is the great waterfall. Massive torrent cascading down from above. All kinds of platforms. It looks like the assassins must train here. And this fellow is, well, he's doing something. Maybe target practice against this dummy and some of the pots in there. Another fisher person here in the shallows. I can't imagine there's all that many fish here, but what do I know about Alamut fish? Nothing really. And tucked away here in this little grotto, we have a smithy. A smithy. With a forge burning in the background. A blacksmith. Oh, hello, bunny. What are you doing here? Bunny looks confused. Slightly alarmed. A blacksmith here working on a blade, as well as a couple of individuals working on the details of what appears to be a shield there, and a suit of armor next to him. Let's make our way back. I think there's still more to see this way. fact, perhaps, well, we could go up that way, or why don't we go back through here and then loop around? Such beautiful lighting through here. This is a very cozy looking campfire, isn't it? We can warm ourselves here as it crackles away. Filling the air with the smell of wood smoke, which always makes me think of camping. Got all kinds of laborers working on building structures here. Well, at least one. And we have some loiterers as well. And over here, it looks like someone cleaning a rug. Just giving it a good smack and then raising a big cloud of dust and then coughing. Important to keep those rugs clean though. This is quite a vertical settlement, which I suppose should be expected of assassins, but it winds its way up the cliffs here. We can look up, 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 all the way to the fortress towers. We have a hidden one studying or writing notes or perhaps sketching here. And a craftsman here using a plane on some planks, which will no doubt be used in the ongoing construction. This little table here has what? Some tools, some compasses and calipers, perhaps. What look to be some potions or elixirs in colorful glass or ceramic bottles, all laid out on a lovely silver platter, and a mortar and pestle. Some herbs, perhaps collected from the nearby foothills. I wish I could understand what they were saying. I don't even know what language they're speaking. Perhaps some of you do, though. Maybe someone can recognize it. I would venture Persian, but I don't know for sure. Hop down here. Not sure what this fellow's doing. Maybe counting bricks. Kind of looks that way. Shoveling some very large pieces of stone, actually. It's a fairly peaceful place here and now, isn't it? love the way the light, the warm light, filters down through the leaves of the oak tree and bounces around the cliffs here. Let's head back here behind the hanging fabric. I believe this is Roshan's quarters. I think. A comfy looking bed. Well, rustic but cozy. Candles burning with all manner of books, scrolls. Lovely rugs on the ground and hanging on the walls. Give this otherwise fairly rough and tumble cave a bit of a homey feel, don't they? As do the ornate cushions. This looks like a wardrobe or some kind of cabinet here. Ornately carved. Tons and tons of scrolls here. Another workspace full of books and scrolls. And other interesting oddities. What appear to be gilded vases. And a wooden cat. A carved wooden cat. Oh, and a game board. It almost looks like chess, but I don't think it is. Some other kind of game. Oh, you know what? Maybe this guy here, maybe he is trying to plan a construction for this cliffside or cliff top. Looks like he's trying to size it up and visualize some kind of structure up there. Yeah, we'll say that's what he's up to, not just staring at the sun. He's probably hard at work. Looks like the stream actually splits here. One branch goes down where we came from. The other heads over this way. Down another canyon. Look at all the reeds. Thick grasses down here. Or not grasses if they're reeds. Hard to say, really. We'll go with reeds. Another fisher person over there. And a little bit past, we can see some stables. Some stables with, this horse appears to be perched very precariously. Not quite sure how that's possible. It's defying the laws of physics, but I guess that's what you get from an assassin's horse. The other two are a fair bit more grounded, I'll say. This fellow here has an excellent beard. I just felt like that was important to point out. Fantastic beard. Beautiful light streaming in, illuminating the leaves of the oaks. It's busy in here. I mean, some people are just kind of standing or sitting around, but many are up to activities This guy's just inspecting the bamboo. We'll go with that. Very, very carefully inspecting the bamboo. Do they even have bamboo here? Here's another person beating a rug. Let's see if we can find a nice vantage point. This person's reading something. Let's climb a little bit. This is exactly what I was looking for. A nice perch where we can see some of the surrounding terrain. Don't know what these big chains are all about here. Looks like there's a lot of food up here as well. Some flatbreads, and these look like mangoes and pears. Giant sack of grain. All kinds of other assorted odds and ends. Big wooden stakes, spears, arrows, swords, helmets, ropes, and more. But I was looking for a perch like this where we could get just a little look around at some of the surroundings. And perhaps this is where we will end our wander for today. We've had a lovely time exploring this beautiful region, enjoying the natural beauty as well as the bustling settlement, all the bits and pieces throughout. I would be happy to revisit Assassin's Creed Mirage in a future video, of course. If you enjoyed this, please do let me know. And I suspect a future video would be set in Baghdad, because that, as I mentioned earlier, is where the majority of the game takes place. But I'm glad that we had a chance to enjoy the beauty of this region. Like I said, it just feels so appropriate for the fall. And it's really quite serene, isn't it? A wonderful place to relax. Well, my friends, thank you so much for joining me on this wander today. I hope you found it interesting and beautiful. But above all, I hope you found it relaxing. And I look very forward to having you back here once again next time. Farewell for now, my friends. Did you know that this channel has some incredibly wonderful, kind, generous individuals who support what I do here on YouTube by signing up for my Patreon and my YouTube memberships? It's true. You can see all of their names right here, and all these folks are fantastic. I appreciate them so very much. They allow me some freedom here on the channel, freedom from worries about, YouTube ad revenue and sponsorships and that sort of stuff. They allow me to just focus on creating the kind of content that I love the most and that you hopefully love the most as well. And they get some fun perks while they're at it. At the FOOS tier, they get their names in this credits list and early access to my weekend videos. At the FOOS Row tier, they get all that plus a special monthly poll to vote on the topic of a video each month. So they get some say in what kind of stuff happens around here. And at the FOOS Row Da tier, the legendary FOOS Row Da tier, well, those very kind channel supporters also, in addition to those other items, get their names read out in a very special spoken shout out in every single one of my videos. And you, dear friends, are about to hear those names right now. It is my great honor to read to you the names of Ragnar Ragnarsson, Rango Steele, Odinson, Angel Garcia, Jake Luffney, Drummer Brit, and K Time. And tonight I'm going to read one more special name because we have a new sign up at the FOOS Row tier on YouTube memberships. Welcome to our latest returning member, Captain Vanquisher. It's great to have you back, Captain Vanquisher. Now, dear friends, dear viewers and listeners, if you are interested in joining up and enjoying any of these perks, please, I implore you, consider taking a look at the links down below in the video description. You'll find one there for Patreon and for YouTube, and I'm sure you can find a tier that's right for you. Consider giving it a look. I would be honored. Just like I'm honored by the support of all these wonderful folks. Once again, a big, big thank you to all our supporters on Patreon and YouTube